All right, so document IDs are new in 2010, and what this allows us to do is assign a unique ID to a document content type or any content type built on a document content type. So if I create a content type called vacation request, and I assign and I use the parent of document, I can actually use that. I can assign a document ID to it. Also, this is available for document sets. So I'm going to kind of walk you through. The idea is to be able to create a document, and regardless of where it hangs out in my site collection, the unfortunate thing, for the most part, this is a site collection feature. So once I move this document to a different site collection, or if I copy it to a different site collection, the original copy will retain this document ID. So it's a document ID assigned for that site collection. So if it's in a library called Shared Documents and I move it to a records library, that document ID will retain its document, or its document ID. It's a move. That's the key word. It's a move, not a copy. If I copy it from a Shared Documents library to a records library or to a HR document library, well, it's a new flavor of it. So we're going to get another ID assigned to that using the prefix I'm going to define for you in just a few moments. So it's a document ID that I can use, and when the feature is activated, when you go into something like the search or record center or document center, you're going to see another web part that's thrown on that page for you that will allow you to search for that. Search for a document or document set based on this document ID. So out of the box, this dude's not installed. So we need to activate it and then configure it. By default, it's going to throw a 12-character, 1,400-foot long GUID prefix on it, which is not going to make any sense for anybody. So I'm going to show you how to customize that. Now, a couple things with document IDs that I've run into. First off, for some reason, I'm going to assume this is an undocumented feature / a bug. If you have a subsite that already exists that's a site collection, your document IDs won't work. It won't even work out of the get-go, from the get-go. If you, for some reason, at the web app, disable the creation of subsites, and again, I'm assuming this is another undocumented feature, document IDs again won't work. Okay? So if you tried using these and you got frustrated and threw your hands up and said, forget it, probably have seen one of those two situations. Create subsites was disabled at the web app level, or most often, if you go into a site collection and you try to activate this feature, if it already contains a subsite, it's not going to work. Okay? So let's walk you through this on seeing what you should see as long as you don't already have an existing subsite in that site collection. We're going to go to Site Actions and Site Settings. And where Bill's been hanging around all week, as well as Kay, we're going to go into Site Collection Features. We've added a lot of features since we started this on Tuesday. This is just another feature that's at a site collection level. And you'll see you have an option called Document ID Service, and you'll see by default it's not activated. Now before I do that, I'm going to go back to Site Actions and Site Settings. And you see if I go under Site Collection Administration, there's nothing down here, no matter what order you look at that, and I know it's not alphabetized. There's nothing about document ID management or document ID settings. There's nothing there because it hasn't been activated yet. All right, so we're going to go and activate that because then we need to go in and look at that. So I'm going to go in, oops, right there. I'm going to go into Site Collection Features. And we're going to activate that document ID option, document ID service. We'll get a little active button here shortly. There we go. We have our active button now. So now if we go back to our site collection features, or site settings, I should say, we'll see now when we scroll on down here, we've got another option down here called Document ID Settings. All right, so if you don't see that, document IDs are not enabled. So we're going to click on that. Now, if there's an issue, if there was a subsite here, this would be blank. So if this is blank, your document IDs are not going to work. It's even telling me up there that the configuration of the document ID feature is scheduled to be completed by an automated process. There's 2 timer jobs we're going to go look at once we set this up. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set this up by activating it, and then what we're going to do is we're going to come in, we're going to come up with a prefix between 4 and 12 characters that your users will be able to remember. They're not going to be able to remember this guy right here, I can tell you that right now. And what this will do, we'll set this up for MSP IO, Minnesota Information Organization class. If there are existing document IDs that are already assigned, we can have them reset the prefix. It's not going to reset the actual entire number, which I'll explain when I get into that in just a few moments. So we're telling it to assign document IDs with the prefix of MSPIO, and if there is any document IDs that already exist out there, let's reset that prefix from that GUID that's about 1,400 feet long to this MSPIO. All right, so we're going to go ahead and click OK on this.